Folks, very interesting conversation in the previous segment with Senator John Thune, and I'm sure it will be just as interesting a conversation as we welcome in our friend former Congressman Pete Hoekstra, who was, of course, former chair of the House Intelligence Committee. Hello, Congressman.
Hello, Steve. Good to be with you.
So what are you doing getting ready for Turkey Day?
Just kind of sitting back and relaxing, and hopefully going to enjoy a good weekend with the family.
Good. That's what it's all about. I wish you and your family all the best. Let me ask you about something that we talked about with the congressman, insofar as it pertains to Iran. And he said that he believes the Senate has to pass sanctions and more sanctions before. Well before the 6-month period of this agreement with Iran is over. Iran has said if that were to happen, it would be it would nullify the deal. Do you think they'll do it, and do you hope they'll do it?
Well, you got a couple of things there. Number one, the Senate may do it, but I think it's very, very unlikely. Harry Reid most likely will not let that come up for a vote. He knows, number one, that would be an embarrassment to the president. And the president would veto the legislation anyway, and they would never get I don't think they would get the supermajority to override the vetoes. Remember, Harry Reid and the president right now are doing everything that they can. 4 weeks ago they were talking about taking back the House of Representatives so that Nancy Pelosi, Harry Reid, and President Obama could run America for those 2 years, 2015 and 2016. Now Harry Reid is desperately doing anything that he can to hold on to the U.S. Senate. To embarrass this president is not the tack that they're going to go down. They are going to embrace this president, and they think that's the only way that they can maybe salvage the elections in 2014.
Yeah, well, I hear you. This agreement, though, and later on, we're going to speak to the wife of the pastor, Pastor Saeed Abedini, one of 3 Americans being held by Iran. And here's our government with a wonderful opportunity to do something about it, to force Iran to make a show of good faith, and nothing, absolutely nothing.
Yeah, but Steve, why are we surprised?
Well, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, again, this president has done nothing to help this family, to help this individual, over the last year. And you're right. This would have been a wonderful opportunity, but the president has a habit of doing this. Consider the doctor that helped us identify
in Pakistan.
Pakistan helped us identify where Osama bin Laden was. Number one, he was discovered because of a leak that came, right out of this president's administration. Loose lips. I think it was by
Joe Biden.
Was it by Biden? All right.
I think so.
Biden or Panetta. Loose lips coming out of there, and this administration has done absolutely nothing to help this doctor. Absolutely nothing to help this pastor in Iran. This is their normal course of business. The Iranians have a tremendous amount of things to be thankful for on this Thanksgiving Day. Americans have much to be nervous about. It's how do you tell it's a bad deal? When the Israelis and the Saudis are in agreement that it is a bad deal, and the Iranians think it is a great deal.
Well, Congressman, we always knew that Obama was a great uniter, but who knew it would be the Saudis and the Israelis that he'd unite?
Well, yeah, because they just take a look at what Iran's intentions are in the greater Middle East, and Iran poses a threat to all the countries that used to be our friends.
Absolutely.
They're up to no good in Iraq. The Saudis are nervous about them. The Israelis are nervous about them. The whole Middle East is very, very nervous of a resurgent and really now a liberated Iran that I think is much closer to a nuclear weapon than what we ever thought that they would get.
We're talking to former Congressman Pete Hoekstra here on the Steve Malzberg Show. Let me ask you about some news that was made here on this show on Monday when Mark Halpern agreed with me that there were death panels, or as I said it to him, there was rationing, a.k.a. death panels, that are going to result out of Obamacare. He said it's not even open for debate. He says they're built into the legislation. That's how they're going to pay for things. And now we find out today that when the Senate blew itself up, or the Democrats blew the Senate up with the nuclear option, now it's going to take just 51 votes to get all these 15 IPAP board members, a.k.a. death panel, cleared through the Senate to be appointed to ration our care.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's not been a tremendous amount of attention paid to what the Senate did when they blew it up with the nuke option, but clearly it's going to make the appointments by this president and future presidents. There's not going to be any restraint on them. The bureaucracies, the courts are going to become much more extreme, and now these death panels. You're right. The president's going to have the opportunity to appoint the most liberal, the most left members of in the country to this, and all they're going to need is 51 votes, and they're going to get them.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, and the only good part here is that the public is going to be made aware of this, and they're going to be. You think they're outraged now? Wait till they find out that I hate to say it, but that grandma and grandpa, and in some cases mom and dad, won't get the operation or the medical device or the treatment they need in order to get better and live another year possibly, because the government will say no, it's not worth it. You think they're outraged now? That's going to be a revolution.
It's going to be amazing. But I mean, Steve, again, we shouldn't be amazed by or surprised at what this president may do over the next few months to salvage Obamacare in one form or another. There will be massive spending. There will be, as what we've seen again today. Today he said, or he didn't say, but the administration said, well, you know what? The small businesses, we're going to give them a waiver for a year.
Yeah, I know. That's the latest one. Congressman, we're running out of time here. But listen, I thank you very much. Have a wonderful holiday.
Thank you.
We'll speak to you next week, former Congressman Pete Hoekstra. When we come back, I want to talk about the Mark Halpern interview. All over the place, this interview. Steve Malzberg Show, Newsmax TV and radio.